Perinatal mood disorder can happen during pregnancy and after childbirth. The symptoms can range from mild to severe. The next few weeks, we are going to focus on recognizing symptoms and how they differ from baby blues and take a look at the options and help that's available. Today, we have Barbara Hawkins-Palmer from the Kent County Health Department, as well as Ajane Robinson-Figueroa. So first, thank you, ladies, for being here with us. We appreciate it. So Barb, let's just first, before we get this conversation going, just kind of explain perinatal mood disorder. Who can this affect, and what symptoms could they experience?
You know, it impacts any woman who's pregnant and into the year after their baby is born or delivery. So it's really not just one population or one group. We see about 1 in 5 women, and yet we're seeing in research that 1 in 3 Black and Indigenous people of color are also being affected at a higher number. And so it's pretty, I don't want to say evasive, but it is out there, and it is something that is often missed. They think it is baby blues. You know, I'm kind of tired, of course, or I'm feeling anxious about the baby sleeping. But what happens is these can be exaggerated, almost to a point of not going out because you're afraid to take the baby anywhere, or not letting anyone hold the baby because you have obsessions about it, something happening. It can get really bad, though, to where it comes to be psychosis, which we've seen that in the news, where women have actually killed their children because they were hearing voices. Now, that's a very extreme case that happens. It doesn't normally get that severe, but 1 in 5 women having this anxiety and depression and possibly other types of mental health challenges that occur while they're taking care of their baby. So we do know, too, that women who may have some mental health challenges before getting pregnant will often see that happening in their pregnancy. Also, we know that women may not even experience a mood anxiety disorder until like 3 months after baby's born. So you won't catch it in the hospital. Maybe you won't catch it, you know, with your first 6-week appointment with your doctor, but it may end up coming around later on. The best thing to know is that there is help, and we can make things better for women and their families. 1 in 10 men will also get it, so it's not just all women that we know. Men, too, will experience these feelings. And as I say, there's counseling, there's medications, but there is help. Women and men don't have to suffer through this. And also, the last point is that who gets impacted by this are the babies. Oftentimes, if mom is not able to nurture because of feelings of depression and not having energy, maybe not eating, and all those things can impact the baby, too.
Ajane, you recently had a baby.
Yes.
Talk about what you experienced.
Yes, so this is my second baby, actually. With my first baby, everything went smoothly. I felt like a euphoria after giving birth, and likewise with this one. But then what I started noticing, and I noticed while I was pregnant a little bit, so I started actually seeing a therapist while I was pregnant, was that I was getting really anxious and irritable. Left a little bit after I had the baby, and then about a week or 2 afterwards, I started getting anxious again, to the point of just feeling like tightness in my chest and just worried thoughts, racing thoughts, invasive thoughts, intrusive thoughts, excuse me. Just about what might be happening to my baby, worried about people standing next to the stairs with the baby, myself, worried about if something's going to happen to me. So I definitely dealt a lot with, anxiety, and just struggling with that was quite difficult. But talking about it, again, seeking more help to come up with more tools to deal with that anxiety was very helpful in my circumstance. I also, just being able to write about things and talk about things on my YouTube channel, dealing with anxiety and sharing that with other mothers, and talking with other mothers about some of their struggles has been really helpful. And then working on the Perinatal Mood and Anxiety Disorder Coalition has been really informative, too, and helpful, and just making sure that I'm speaking up for other mothers and other families about what these things can look like, because depression, anxiety go hand in hand. And so, it's a very difficult journey sometimes, but it's just really important to also understand that it's something that you can manage with the right tools.
It's a topic that sometimes we don't want to talk about too often, right?
Oh, yeah. You know, you're a new mom. You're supposed to be happy. You're supposed to be, you know, in love with your baby. And there are some women that just can't seem to make that connection due to some of these mental health challenges that they're facing. And what you've explained is very common with new moms. even the second or third baby, they may have these feelings.
Yeah, and that, with my second baby, it got worse, right? So like I had little symptoms with my son. With my second baby, it got even more difficult to manage, and I was even more irritable on a day-to-day basis. And when your disorder shows up as irritability, a lot less people have compassion for that as well. And then in particular, as a Black woman, a lot of the different biases and things is the angry Black woman trope, right? You don't want to show that or deal with that, but if your mind is all over the place, sometimes it's very difficult to be able to seek out the help, or for people to even feel compassionate enough to actually ask if you need help.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that makes it even more difficult sometimes with these different racial biases and things of that nature.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for coming on. I know
Thanks for
you're helping
having
so
us.
many parents. I appreciate you both.
Thank you.